What's going on, guys? My name is Psutka, and this was a super fun commercial to make. Let's dive right in. Okay, so for our opening shot, everything's kind of out of focus to begin with. There's a little bit of a mystery element to it that I think is nice. The bottle is going to fall down and come right into focus, and then the liquid's going to start to pour out. The body wash will start to pour out, and then we're going to cut to a close-up of the actual gel, the liquid, the body wash, whatever you want to call it, and just get the real texture of the product itself. We're gonna come straight up from that, and this is gonna be like a hero shot. This is our body wash comes flying up into the screen. We've got our eucalyptus and our mint leaves crossing paths coming behind the bottle. It's all coming together. This is our product. And this shot is when we grab the audience and we introduce scents, the sense of smell. That's why we have the eucalyptus and the mint leaves flying across the screen. We have it text on the bottle so you can see exactly what the flavor of this product is. Okay, so to capture the bottle spinning, you can do this many ways, but the way that I chose to do it was use my blue screen, put one of my skateboards, my longboards, on its side. I got a can of blue spray paint that the color matched close enough to the blue backdrop, and I taped that cap onto the wheel, and then I could put my bottle onto the cap. That way, the cap and the blue screen would be able to get keyed out and we'd be left with the bottle. So now that that's out of the way, we can get into a bit more of the detail of the product, bring a bit more life into it. So what I've chosen to do next is I've chosen to cut in, get a real close-up of it, and actually have some of the soap running down the bottle. Just like if you were using it in the shower and you set it down, all those bubbles would run down the side of it. It's a very familiar shot. Now from that, I want to introduce more of a heightened sense of smell. This is eucalyptus, this is mint, these are strong fragrances, and I really want to showcase that. So we're getting rid of the product itself for the next shot, and we're just going to focus on the eucalyptus and the mint. But that seems a little bit boring, and I still want to have a little bit of the product in it. So we're just going to fill it full of bubbles, and that way the product isn't technically gone. Now next, we're going to take the eucalyptus, we're going to take the mint, we're going to take the product itself, and we're going to take the bubbles running down it. We're going to put that together. See, these are little building blocks, and now they're forming one bigger block. And in this shot, I chose to use more of a shallow depth of field to showcase the actual brand, Everyman Jack. We get that it's eucalyptus, we get that it's mint. It doesn't really need to be in focus. It could be, it's just personal preference. This is the way I chose to go about it. Now this last shot is kind of like the shot prior to it that we just talked about, but this is wide. We're out, we want to see the whole product, we want to see those bubbles, we want to see the mint, the eucalyptus laid beautifully around. It's a nice scene. The majority of these shots I did with a green screen, technically a blue screen, because we have green on the bottle, or else that would get cut out too. So we're using a blue screen, and I'm putting a stock background behind this blue screen footage to give the mood, to give the brand itself, the feel of the brand. And like, you know, it's outdoorsy, it's people who like to hike and mountain climb and cut wood. You know what I mean? Now the big problem I ran into here is that I'm slamming this bottle down, and I need liquid to run down it afterwards. So I'm spraying, I got lots of liquid pooled here. I bring it up, slam it down, take my hand away out of frame, and then I just let the liquid run down and just let it go. Now, the problem here is that my hand is soaking wet, and we're using a blue screen. So the edges of my hand aren't actually being captured in detail because of that layer of moisture, that layer of liquid around my hand. Now I actually had to mess around with this section a lot because the liquid around my hand made it look super cut out. So when I was pulling my hand away, it just looked really, really bad. So I ended up having to go in and mask out the edge of my hand frame by frame as I was pulling it out to get rid of that kind of glow that was making it look so fake. So this is a really great lesson. If you're working with blue screens, green screens, and you're using liquids, this is something you're gonna run into, and it's something that I ran into. But there's always a way to fix it. Now after all that's done, we do our color grading, we do our sound design, and one addition that I put into this is I found some stock footage of the bubbles going across, because the scene, the opening scene at least, seemed really flat and really kind of boring. The bottle comes down, and yeah, it's cool that the liquid's coming out really quickly and it's building a pool, but the background is just a little too boring. There's not enough going on there. So We start with the bubbles coming across the scene, and I actually decided to add those bubbles continuing throughout the commercial, and I feel like it added so much more depth and energy to the commercial, and it's bubbles, it just fits. So that's my thought process when I'm making a commercial like this, and I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer anything that you have. And after all that, you have 17 seconds of gold. Not bad for filming in the kitchen of a bachelor apartment. Guys, if you have any questions about any of this, if you have any comments, please drop them in the comment section. I'm here to help. I would love to hear from you. Subscribe to the thing with the bell so you know the second I put out another video. And I'll see you all next time.